Wait a second. When did my microphone get muted like that? Okay. My microphone got freaking muted. I don't know how. It's just the complete levels has been turned like that. That's insane. That was crazy. Okay, hi. Hi, Abby. Abby, wow. Welcome to the stream. Gonna be talking about Marvel's Secret Invasion, and I don't know what else to talk about. Here are the freaking things. Okay, here's my freaking notes towards it. I haven't had a viewer yet coming in when me streaming this one. Alright, wait a second. No, can't connect to chat. Wait. Let me connect to chat so that I can see chat a little bit. Okay. Start off things when it comes to Secret Invasion. Secret Invasion starts off that rotates or what do you call this? Orbits around Nick Fury's internal freaking struggle of whatever the fuck it is. The Nick Fury's internal struggle is helping the freaking Skrulls and fighting the freaking few. They're finding them a new home and keeping his promise back in Captain Marvel. Back in the movie Captain freaking Marvel, whatever promise they made to the freaking Skrulls and finding them a new freaking home. But it has been 30 years, right? Since 1995 all the way to 99, all the way from the 90s to to the 2020s, right? It's been 20, 30, around 30 years. So that's been that, and nothing has freaking happened. And we have Nick Fury come back into the freaking fold. But how do you get him back? What is it that is needed for him to get him back? Well, the freaking harvest. Like the somehow when it comes to the ending of the freaking movie, the ending of the freaking show, which is kind of like, what the fuck was that? Like somewhat you can have like a lot of you can suspend a lot of your disbelief when it comes to a lot of freaking things, but this kind of Nick Fury is kind of crazy. I don't know how everybody expected Nick Fury to be or what Nick Fury has to be, but the expectation is he is one step, always one step of freaking ahead, has this freaking kind of mind games freaking thing going on when it comes to everybody else, and always have a freaking backup plan, right? Always have those kinds of freaking plans going on. And it was freaking rare. And the backup plan that he had was have the freaking harvest. And the backup plan to the backup plan of the freaking harvest was to involve Gaia in this situation and have her become the super squall. Super squall. I don't know what the hell are they gonna do with the freaking squalls, but it doesn't seem much. It seems like this freaking show never happened at all. Seems like it was kept a secret. Seems like it is a freaking secret, huh? Yeah, it seems like a freaking secret towards the entire freaking Marvel universe. Let's just keep this thing a freaking secret, even if it's there. It's still a freaking secret, whatever it is that's happening, even if there was a huge ass announcement when it comes to the end. But let's go back a little bit when it comes to the first freaking episodes, right? When it comes to the first episodes, we get to be introduced with some sort of a Korean spy thriller. The expectation that was like made, the expectation that you'd make watching the freaking first episode as to what is gonna happen when it comes to the next and the next until the freaking finale would be crazy insane because the way they set up the freaking conflict of you fighting shapeshifters and all those freaking things, right? That everybody can might be that anybody can be the freaking enemy, and it's very difficult for you to be able to like find out who's who, what is what. Because in this situation, we have the enemy one step ahead of freaking Nick Fury as he comes back, into the question. We have freaking Talos, we have freaking Nick Fury, We have a little bit of like explanation as to what happened when it comes to the 30 years or the years that have passed from the beginning all the way to the from the beginning to the freaking present. The way plants have native plants from I like that freaking detail about a native freaking plant coming from the Skrulls planet being able to like adapt and be able to like bloom here in Earth, right? That is a great way to be able to like know and be able to like have fun to know about. So, yes, understanding Nick Fury's freaking journey in here, like him being like a one step ahead kind of guy. Don't get to see him here like that in this freaking situation because he's written somewhat in a way. He's written in a way that his tools or whatever it is that he needs to do, that he is beaten or like old. Yes, he is written as if he is old and just by as a part of like a bygone era. Um, that's what Nick Fury is. Whatever Nick Fury has been established back in the freaking times. I don't know, man. In the Infinity freaking Saga, back in the Infinity Saga, like we get to see Nick Fury as the guy who has shit under freaking control, who has freaking plans for freaking everything, who has freaking backups for this, who was able to like be able to like assemble a lot of freaking people and all that. But you get to see him here like a beaten up old freaking dog in this situation. In Secret Invasion, that's how they portray freaking Nick Fury, and we get to see, well, like you somehow don't get to see his freaking edge or his freaking teeth or his fangs be able to like bite towards the freaking enemy because we see other people being able to like take advantage of him, which is in a written, it's supposed to be able to like give that freaking feeling, but it kind of feels, well, I get why people are. Yeah, well, let's just say that I understand or get why people are be able to like feel betrayed as to what have they done to our Nick Fury, our beloved freaking Nick Fury, and his freaking character, because that is now his portrayal in this one, right? You see freaking Rhodey completely you see this freaking Rhodey firing the hell out of him, and the way Rhodey was freaking portrayed is nice too, like the way, I think when it comes to like the Skrulls having like Rhodey, it's probably much more later on, probably after the Infinity War, that they were able to take hold of freaking Rhodey being a Skrull. But like, how long have these people been inside everything? We don't freaking know. Ever since they landed here on Earth, they already infiltrated a lot of freaking places already, and that's what freaking Skrulls are. And Nick Fury used all of them throughout time, right? That's how he was able to be promoted all towards his rise towards freaking Shield, and that's what we get to see, this kind of freaking Nick Fury without like understanding Nick Fury in this freaking kind of way, that everything that he has, like somehow everything he has achieved was because all of the freaking Skrulls and all his freaking information, everything else, the way his main freaking tool or the way he goes about everything else is by the using of a lot of freaking Skrulls. And that is his greatest freaking advantage, which is now freaking taken away from him in this his greatest advantage, his greatest weapon, something that he's used all this freaking time and now turning on him, and he has to freaking face that. That's why they were one step freaking ahead of him, because that's just freaking that's uh that's how it's supposed to be, because that's just like the introduction of freaking episode 1 all the way to episode 4. Episode 4 is where Gaia was able to like get killed, right? Wait, episode 4 or episode 3? Wait, let me see. Let me like check a little bit, man. I'm fresh off of it, but like episode 3. Episode 4 is episode 4 is the that thing with the president. Alright. That was all the way up to episode freaking 3, the establishment of everybody as the head of freaking this enemy that Nick Fury has to face, which is one step ahead of him, which is probably supposed to be himself, right? Something that he has done, he's freaking past, but his past that he has abandoned, now everything else that he has worked for is now biting him in the ass. And that's just freaking Nick Fury. But he has plans and plans. He has backup plans. He has other contingencies supposed to be, but you don't get to see it, and you have to write it very cleverly in this freaking kind of way per freaking episode to be able to establish that. And what do we get? It's kind of there. There are remnants and bits and pieces in there. I'm just like, here's the thing. After okay, let me like have sidetrack a little bit. Okay, my approach in this freaking the way I'm gonna be able to like talk about freaking Secret Invasion. Um, After I've played or read Zato, I'm kind of like having this freaking idea in my head that I probably should be grateful for a lot of freaking things in my freaking life. Even though a lot of people hated this freaking show, Secret Invasion, a lot it was like rated 53. It wasn't like that very good according to the freaking standards of a lot of freaking people. I am just freaking grateful there is something to be freaking made that we get to be able to like see even bits and pieces, right? Bits and pieces where we like uh where we get to like Nick Fury and his freaking finest get to struggle a little bit and be able to like fight something on this freaking kind of level. Well, something's supposed to be on his freaking level, but it's just very hard to be able to do that. Well, they were able to establish that in the first 3 episodes. There's just the finale is just like it's somehow the problem is just needing a final freaking act or like having this complete showdown at the very end that is somehow needed for a finale for it comes to freaking everything when it isn't where it doesn't have to be. But yeah, it's a great freaking reveal in this freaking situation. I don't know, man. Probably they've written something much more different, but this is the direction that they took, and this is the direction that they head out for and shown to us. I'm just glad that they have there's a show about freaking scrolls. Eh, there's just a show about freaking scrolls and freaking spy freaking thing. It would be nice if it was like a real spy freaking thriller. It would be like somewhere across the line between Mission Impossible and James Bond, because those are like spy freaking thrillers that we love, right? Now, when it comes to spy stuff like freaking tech, like using kinds of like crazy ass freaking technologies and be able to like counteract whatever this is going on with the scrolls, cloaking technologies and all freaking that. When it comes to MI6 or something like that, they're like, but it's not. It's much more grounded when it comes to like spy freaking aspect in it, right? No, not fun. I don't say how they say. Yeah, it's kind of like they kind of grounded a lot of freaking when it comes to Nick Fury's freaking ability and like made him much more akin to what a spy probably would do, right? Hanging out with a lot of freaking people, like doing all those freaking things, hanging out in freaking bars, getting the information from a lot of freaking loose lips. Like even though you don't need like those kinds of freaking things, but it was like established in the first episode. The first episode, the establishment of freaking how the world established or the tone was established in the freaking first episode was so freaking good up to the third. And then later on, when it comes to the fourth, when they are able to like, okay, it escalated. There needs to be an escalation, or the stakes getting freaking higher, right? The stakes getting higher for like for a grand freaking finale at the very very end. Okay, involve the freaking president. Okay, that's freaking good, and let's just like completely see what's going on when it comes to what they're doing it. But yeah, it seems nice. But yeah, we get to be able to see Graven. Graven seems like yeah, Graven seems really good when it comes to up to the third episode, man. After the third episode, it still feels like freaking dire, and you'll be able to understand like how will like Nick Fury be able to like come on top of this, or will he ever come on top of this without the freaking help of the scrolls, or like somebody else inside, right? It seems like that when it comes to up to episode three, but like yeah, that's what Nick Fury is about, right? Nick Fury, the conversation about freaking Nick Fury is. It feels like, and by the time also like the freaking problem here is by the time the way they set up the problem, right? The struggle that Nick Fury has to face, but how he was able to like face it and then be able to come up with something crazy, insane. The reveal of the freaking plans later on when it comes to the freaking finale or the final episode, how he was able to like come out on top when it comes to this freaking showdown. It doesn't seem smart enough for you to be able to like, oh, that seems freaking really good. That the freaking switch up when it comes to freaking Gaia, that seems freaking nice. Or like because like the episode before that feels like the episode freaking five, right? Episode freaking five seems like the freaking setup or the ramping up of freaking things of how everybody's gonna be able to like resolve it, right? The ramping up the stakes getting freaking higher as what it is freaking needed, or like a grand reveal as to the freaking past, the reveal as to Nick Fury's freaking past, and be able to like have this great ass unification, or like getting Sonya's freaking side as to side to into Nick Fury's freaking side, because Nick Fury has to reveal a much more personal freaking truth about himself, or how personal this freaking struggle is towards him. And it's like great us to be able to understand that like episode 5, like I love it. It's just episode 6 episode we get to be able to like see Talos's freaking funeral, and how freaking Gaia was like understanding the race of this freaking father. But it's just like we need more freaking things about it. Like maybe something to, well, it's, I don't know. There's not much said about freaking Talos when it comes to freaking Talos's funeral, right? Yeah, because it's just Gaia and Priscilla. What is her name in her girl name? Well, let's just call him. I'm gonna just call her Priscilla. That was Nick Fury. And then Nick Fury's freaking personal freaking truth being revealed, and finally being able to like see, oh, this is gonna be something great when it comes to the final freaking showdown as to Nick Fury, and how is he gonna fight the Super Scroll? How is he gonna outthink, probably outthink, or like outmaneuver Graven. But the way he outmaneuvered Graven is the use of freaking Gaia. The reveal in there was nice. It's just that the fight was fucking awful. The reveal was nice, and the freaking fight and the final showdown that we get to see when it comes to Graven and Gaia, that seems crazy. Alright. Um, when it comes to other conversations, Harvest. The harvest, when it comes to everybody else's DNA on into one freaking vial, that seems freaking plausible because how much of a person's DNA do you need to be able to like have it, right? When it comes to wait, okay, let's just say how large is a DNA file? 150 gigabytes. Fuck, that's expensive. That's huge. Single human genome silent coverage procedures accumulate to 100 to 155 gigabytes of data. How? Let's just Google. How much DNA can you put inside one vial? The amount of DNA in a vial depends on the type of preparation, ranging from approximately. What the fuck is this? For. What is that? For level size plasmid DNA to 55 solution human. For human genomic DNA standards. 55. What the fuck? What the fuck is this? Microliter, milliliters? Fuck. How like. Microliter? 55 microliter to ml. Milliliters. 0.055. That's a lot. Milliliter. That's a milliliter. Okay. That's a milliliter. 0.05 microliter to milliliter. Uh, okay, 55. Okay, let's just say that's a 25 ml. In a 25 ml vial, 454. So there's like 454. Okay, we calculated it. Probably around 454 DNA samples in that. Depending even when it comes to the everybody's DNA freaking sequence, depending on what race they are or human. That is human. So they can contain in the freaking vial. The vial freaking thingy, harvest, containing in one freaking bottle. Everybody's DNA in one freaking vial. That would be enough. 454. We don't even have enough 454. Probably some other sequences require much more microliters, but yeah. Containing in one freaking vial, that seems good enough harvest. Scrolls and the threat of freaking scrolls. What are we able to like understand freaking this one? When it comes to the last episode, the establishment of a greater freaking threat when it comes to everybody else, when it comes to the scroll rebellion, how deep they are when it comes to everybody. They are fucking deep, and there are crazy ass freaking assassinations of scrolls set out by the current freaking president. And what do we able to see that? It seems like it's still freaking a secret, and nobody's like talking about it. It's like this freaking thing never happened. Like Secret Wars, Secret Invasion, Secret Wars, Secret Invasion didn't even happen at all. It would be great if it was like yeah, but it was shown by like the president like went on public demanding the death to all skulls. Demanding death to all freaking skulls. Uh mm, Skulls in a threat to them. That would be nice. Like, whatever happened to the freaking skulls afterwards? Do they have like, do they completely leave because they have peace talks when it comes to the freaking Kree? And then when it comes to the Marvels, we get to be able to like see Carol Danvers completely destroying the Kree civilization by ruining the Supreme freaking intelligence, right? That is gonna be crazy as to be able to like see again and be able to understand what happened to the freaking Skrulls now. Where are they gonna go? They're probably infiltrating other freaking civilizations, lost into freaking everywhere. But like when it comes to freaking Skrulls, they want them to be able to be on their own freaking skin, to live in their own freaking skin, and not to be able to hide. That is like one good freaking detail to be able to understand about them, because that is just like somehow their conversation when it comes to uh a conversation between Gaia and Talos, right? Skulls. Oh, and then you get the ability. You have Sonya, and like Sonya is like very brutal when it comes to her freaking ways. That's just like not nice to be able to like see. Yeah, probably killed a lot of freaking skulls. Probably the population of like completely diminished, and like only a few of skulls left, or probably they left freaking Earth and just ran away. Because they cannot be tried. Can they be tried? That would be freaking crazy. The try freaking scrolls. Are they any laws pertaining to the treatment of freaking scrolls? Like I don't even know that if there is like something like that. Like when it comes to freaking Asgardians, they have that freaking place. Like what? That is one more thing, yeah. That when it comes to Asgardians, they have a freaking place called they would like freaking call home. And like back on freaking She-Hulk, we have like Asgardian freaking shapeshifter who is like allowed to freaking walk around the freaking Earth, but it's still like a freaking shapeshifter. So probably the integration of like an entire freaking new race seeking refuge in freaking Earth, maybe they be given a place to be able to like they call home too. But they don't have the freaking threat of freaking Thor, right? Like somehow they have freaking leverage when it comes to Asgardans. They have like Thor as freaking leverage. They have like they'll be able to like they be able to like leverage freaking Thor as a great protector of freaking Earth whenever like push comes to shove. But when it comes to Skrulls, they don't have anybody. Well, they have freaking Nick Fury, but Nick Fury is like on Earth's side at most of the freaking time. It's supposed to be when it comes to this freaking argument, but he is like personally and personally entangled when it comes to a bunch of freaking skulls because he's married to one. So you don't know where is he gonna side to now. Like, why do we even need Dick Fury when it comes to like building freaking Saber? Anyways, will we ever get to be able to see Saber in freaking work? To be able to see Saber at work, that would be nice to be able to see. Probably in Doomsday, as a Doomsday freaking prep, like Saber in freaking action and be able to like see it. That would be freaking nice to be able to see. And then what is a spy freaking thriller? Well, there's a spy freaking trailer being able to like. There's this perspective of. Do you call is a spy? Isn't Glorious Bastards a spy thriller? I don't know part of. There's like a sequence in it that feels like a spy thriller. Got Inglorious freaking bastards. But anything else when it comes to spy thrillers, Mission Impossible is nice. But when it comes to Mission Impossible, there seems to be like some sort of a heist uh, aspect to whatever it is that they need to be able to do, because they need to be able to get information or get to something, right? Get the MacGuffin, be able to like access the MacGuffin to stop the freaking world from exploding. But there's no MacGuffin in there. There was one part getting access to uh, Bob, getting access to Bob. But the way they were able to access freaking Bob was shoot their way in. Shoot their way in. And there's this freaking thing when it comes to whatever it is that is needed to be there, right? Like how well does he need freaking Talos if freaking Talos fucks up like that? Like, sir, I just met you. I just left you inside. It was like completely compromised. Uh, Anything else? What is a freaking spy thriller? If you're like asking me what is a spy freaking thriller, anything else is like mostly like nice. Like the freaking first episode was, it has the makings of a good freaking show, but it ended so freaking poorly that everybody hated it. I think it was ended freaking poorly of how it was, and the way they did our boy Nick Fury. For me, in in Captain Marvel, that kind of Nick Fury, some sort of like a little bit of incompetence, uh, not having to know what is next to be able to do, and not having a freaking plan, or maybe starting out being fresh, not being that too much in command is seems like a great way to be able to like see Nick Fury when it comes to Captain freaking Marvel. But this time you get to be able to see Nick Fury fresh from freaking Saber. What's he doing in freaking and I just can't like I just can't seem to be able to like understand that Nick Fury lost all his freaking edge like that like that easily, come from freaking Saber going back and not being prepared, whatever it is that is need to be freaking whatever it is that he needs to freaking do, going back with freaking Saber. Probably going back with freaking Saber is gonna be able to like rely on Maria freaking Hill. That was supposed to be his freaking thing, right? Completely relying on Maria Hill and Maria Hill, but Maria Hill was like freaking killed. So like he lost freaking everybody. The only one he has left now is freaking Talos. But yeah, he even lost freaking Talos at the freaking near the freaking end there. So what it is, what is it? What do we need when it comes to him? I don't freaking know. When it comes to like the video veil, the Widow's veil, Widow's veil. It seems like a nice way to be able to like change freaking faces. That seems cool. And he has the freaking old version. That's a cool freaking detail about it. What else about freaking Nick Fury do we like? About this freaking show. Um, Graven seems to be like threatening enough until like there's this freaking good ass freaking scene where Graven and Talos came together and we get to see Graven so agitated. It seems like he is in a position that is just like wanting to gloat or to be able to like show like look what I have become or something, right? Look how great I am or something. He's like in a position like that, like wanting to freaking gloat and wanting to like show that to freaking Thanos, and we have like freaking Thanos like still whatever this is going on, freaking Talos are completely desperate for freaking Gaia's freaking safety or something. And we have like I like that freaking scene, man. Up until Talos snapped. Up until Thanos freaking Talos, Talos, Talos freaking snapped and stabbed Graven's freaking arm. That's where we get to be able to like see Gravin like trying to gloat and become something crazier. But like later on when it comes to his interaction to Nick Fury at the freaking final episode, well, if he was interacting with freaking Nick Fury, it feels like um he seems very sad or very hurt. He's showing a much more freaking hurt. The way that actor is really nice. He was able to like portray those kinds of freaking emotion. He was able to like show that kind of performance, and they were able to like see it from him. The direction or that the way they did him was kind of nice. The way they did freaking Gravin, but how everything else is freaking put together, like there's just a problem of how everything else is being put together, and finally having that kind of freaking final episode at the very end. I don't think I don't think that is the first freaking. You look familiar. Yes, I don't think that's uh the first freaking iteration or the first main goal of theirs in this entire freaking show. That freaking finale was just. Yay. Maybe they didn't have like some sort of like finale and they just wanted a freaking showdown. They wanted to kill a freaking Super Scroll, but they have no other ways of being able to like kill a Super Scroll. But we have something that is just completely that completely destroys a person, that is like the interrogation freaking serum that Sonya had in the freaking second episode. That seems nice. Maybe like uh, multiple freaking dosage of that. That would be like freaking crazy to be able to like kill some sort of like super skull, like something like completely adapting to everything else. But that's just crazy too. And the way I think like when it comes to the freaking showdown, they don't have the freaking budget to be able to like have enough freaking CGI to that freaking fight. Because that would be a crazy ass freaking fight when it comes to the very end, the ending of this freaking secret invasion. The ending would be very nice because it's just one upping each other when it comes to freaking powers, right? It seems like the way everything else is like put together or like at the back of everything else. It's basically a nothing burger. It's not supposed to be something to be able to introduce a lot of freaking things when it comes to the struggle, when it comes to aliens, and probably introduce xenophobia when it comes to freaking Earth's approach as to what it is that's going on when it comes to the freaking setup. But they didn't like go with that. Actually, not even the bun, it's an air burger. It is. It is a bunch of freaking nothing burgers, but I'm trying to like really understand it. The nice thing about it too, when it comes to like, I think when it comes to the freaking fight, when it comes to the freaking scroll fight, I've seen freaking bits and pieces in there on what they were going to. There's a movie version of Secret Invasion. That would be much more better rather than going through 6 hours of it. Uh, Probably a movie version would be much better, and the budget would be like really put into the entire fight at the end. But like when it comes going back to what I was saying, when it comes to there's this bits and pieces when it comes to it, right? Like the way they fight with freaking everybody else's powers. They have all this freaking DNA. So it's just a matter of fighting, getting to be able to counteract or getting to be able to like go to the freaking powers that is needed to be able to like kill one another. But like somehow they ended up with freaking the way they there's a bit and pieces there when she turned into freaking mantis. It's just no, it doesn't. It doesn't seem to be a joke. It seems to be able to like. It's nice. I don't think it's Nick Fury now. It's probably the Fontaine. We're gonna be able to like see much more of Val, the Fontaine, and probably Sonya. I wanna see Sonya more actually. I like the way they written the way they've written freaking Sonya and how she freaking operates and uh the way she interacts with everybody else. Everybody else seems to be like, what the fuck is this woman freaking doing? And then she talks she talks a freaking little bit and then you see the threat level going up. I can see him being serious now. You can see him being serious. You get to see him here. Nick, you get to see Nick Fury have a love life and have something personal when it comes to him in this freaking situation. But the way they were able to like play with that personal the personal personal fact when it comes to freaking Nick Fury is just like completely out there. But there is one. You know, coming from you who wanted a grounded freaking take on you wanted a grounded freaking take on freaking Zato, and now this is a much more this is kind of they were going in that direction, a much more grounded take when it comes to freaking Nick Fury. Okay, they've cut up all the freaking bullshit of tech, having that much crazy ass. They decided not to use a lot of freaking crazy ass spy technology, freaking tech when it comes to Nick Fury's approach in this situation. But it's just, hey, he seems much more grounded here. And him having like a secret freaking life that he's established when it comes to freaking Alien. That's a great thing to be able to like see when it comes to Nick Fury. But probably that's not what everybody wants to see from here, Nick Fury, right? That's not the Nick Fury that everybody wants to see, and I get it. But I kind of like it, though. I kind of like this Nick Fury. I kind of like this Nick Fury, but yeah, I kind of like this Nick Fury. Yeah, well, let's see, be able to like get spy, well, and Saber, and that's spyware. Yeah, a lot of freaking spy stuff. We don't get to see a lot of freaking spy stuff or like a lot of freaking mind games. I was like waiting for freaking mind games and stuff, but it's just not. Yeah, the old Nick Fury more didn't have a lot of freaking information, you know? As they do say, never meet your freaking heroes. The way they portrayed Nick Fury back in the day, he has a lot of freaking mystery. And once that mystery is kind of like written or like was able to like said something, it's kind of like freaking sucks sometimes. And it sucks when it comes to be able to like unveiling the freaking mystery of freaking Nick Fury and this is what we get. It doesn't seem it doesn't give justice towards his freaking character or how he was portrayed back in the freaking day. It seems like they forgot the Infinity Saga ever happened when they were writing this thing. Nick Fury should have his own movie. This was his movie. This was supposed to be his thing. Secret Invasion. This was supposed to be his Nick Fury's freaking thing. You know, like if the way he was able to like, live model decoys, LMDs. Like he wasn't freaking using scrolls, but he was using freaking LMDs. LMDs nuts. Yeah. You know, like the live model decoys, man. It was live freaking model decoys or like a complete showdown between humans and freaking scrolls. That would have been crazy to see, but we don't get to see any superhero integrated in it. But we see Super Scrolls having the power of Captain freaking Marvel. That's why I'm going to push towards freaking Gaia now. With Nick Fury. Yeah, and the ending was dog shit. It was nice. They has it's not completely shit. It has bits of pieces. It has the makings of a great freaking show, but like somehow they weren't able to like capitalize on these freaking these great ass freaking moments, these good as performances, these bits and pieces that we get to be able to like have or appreciate. But it's just like, what now? It is on 55, but as they do say, don't listen to the freaking critics. Develop a. I'm trying to develop my own freaking comic book version. Okay. Okay. Now that. Yeah, no, that's how we see it's totally freaking bad, or how it's freaking awful. But coming from someone who just watched the freaking show, or just like understand the show just by itself, it seems like they didn't even read. Yeah. Yep. They're adapting a freaking comic book. I don't know what to say about that. But it's just a show in itself. Not everybody reads the freaking comics. It would be nice to be able to like introduce somebody else to freaking Skrulls or this side of freaking Marvel when it comes to the human freaking side, or that's the much more not super powered versions, or not super powered area of like uh of freaking Marvel. That would be like nice to be able to like see that they have this freaking part in it, but it's just the way they were able to like do it in here. It was something. We got to see it though. We got to see the way they did it. At least we had something. There were crumbs. We had crumbs, bits and pieces how to be able to like watch it. No worries. After this one, it's Loki season 2. But Groot season 2, right? I am Groot season 2 first before Loki season 2. But I don't think I'll be able to like talk about I am Groot season 2. Loki though, Loki's coming. Okay, especially talking about freaking Gaia. Not even in the Marvels. She's not even in the Marvels. Whatever it is that they're doing towards her, there is no freaking super scroll. There is a super scroll walking amongst Earth. There's a super scroll that's under freaking Sonya's freaking command that is circulating freaking around Earth. Dude, Oscar Isaac said that that he is only there for like one time, and one time only. It would be nice to have Moon Knight season 2. I would love to have Moon Knight season 2, but it's just nah. Daredevil though. If you want darker and grittier freaking stories or much more mature take, they say Daredevil would be nice. Daredevil Born Again is nice. We got Daredevil though. We got Daredevil and we got Punisher. Punisher One Last Kill. They have those, but I haven't watched Daredevil yet. I like the Netflix one, but I like the Netflix one. I wish it was true. I watched the Netflix Daredevils, if that's something, but the Disney Plus Daredevils, I haven't watched it yet. Anyways, Gaia and freaking Sonya. I freaking love freaking Sonya in this one. It's nice. Um, Gaia. Gaia, yeah, there's a super scroll like with like the much who can like mimic a lot of freaking powers. It would be nice if they can mimic only the powers for like for only a short amount of time and not completely indefinitely until they like change. The Netflix is well because they base it on the Netflix one. I like the Netflix versions. Daredevil and freaking Punisher and the Netflix ones were really freaking good. But I wish they would like introduce Iron Fist and Luke Cage again. Iron Fist and Luke Cage were nice. Iron Fist was fucking dog shit, by the way, but Luke Cage. But those Iron Fist as a character is nice though. We get to be able to like have something. I don't know. Anyways, as a Doomsday freaking prep, this one is completely inconsequential because they forgot this freaking existed. It seems like this one, okay, we're gonna show you Secret Invasion, and then after showing us Secret Invasion, we're not gonna follow up on anything that freaking happened at the end of it because it's just freaking pure bullshit. We have our president declaring war against freaking aliens. What happens to freaking New Asgard now? They're freaking living on Earth. So what happens to New Asgard? Are they gonna be on the run too? Like, or is it just the Skrulls? The Skrulls. I don't know what to do with freaking Skrulls anyway. And like, it would be freaking nice. The freaking trailer for Secret Invasion seems like it's nice, man. The way everybody stood up and like Talos like stabbed freaking Graven's freaking arm. Everybody stood up. They're all freaking Skrulls in the building. That seems so freaking cool. That was like a cool moment when it comes to the freaking trailer. But it like the show didn't like the way it was set up or whatever it is. Anyways, I have like 2 minutes left. Like I have around 2 minutes left to yap about anything relating to this. Compared to the comic book version, and I haven't read the comic book version of Secret Invasion. I should probably, and be able to like understand how freaking awful this one is. Aye. What is a spy thriller, anyways? Dude, they should have just gone with the James Bond freaking thing, man. I was like thinking something along that line. But yeah. Anyways, that's Secret Invasion. That is my Doomsday freaking prep. Next upcoming two is Loki season 2. I don't know when I'm gonna be able to finish it, but I am going to finish it. We're closing into Doomsday now. Probably like finish all of this by December, right? I'm gonna go watch the brand new day 2 on Monday because that's when the free one comes. That's when I get a free one. You see, I got free movie. I get free movies. Aye. That's it. That's Secret Invasion. Thank you so much for coming by the stream. I must say goodbye now. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye now. Tomorrow, if I am not streaming tomorrow, I'm probably watching Loki season 2. But if I'm gonna stream tomorrow, it's either Dispatch. I seen Dispatch is not on sale. That's why I bought it. And bought Dispatch. If Dispatch, I don't think this PC can handle Dispatch, but we'll see if it can handle freaking Dispatch or Dream Barbecue. Dream Barbecue would be nice. Dream Barbecue. Dream Barbecue. We're doing Dream Barbecue. Is it like a small? Uh, uh, okay. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. That's it. That's the stream. Bye-bye.